And here we are in a beautiful, beautiful day in Arkansas. We've got host Jimmy McGill and Chris Dickey bringing you the Recovery Clinic live, where we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff that is super important, recovery related. We've created the Recovery Clinic so we can continue to stay engaged, continue to support and hold each other accountable. I encourage you, if you have not, to click and follow, like our page. I've heard others say it this way: smash that like button, smash that heart. We are so glad to be here with you today. What's up, Chelsea, JD, Natasha? Welcome. We're so glad you're here. The Recovery Clinic, again, is a way for us to continue to support one another. We don't have to be an island of one while we're suffering. We can suffer together and overcome our fears, hurts, whatever's going on in our life. And so today we're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff. Jimmy, what are, we're backed by the state, DHS, the Office of the Drug Director. We're grateful for them. Hey.
Technical difficulties. I'm going to blame that on the IT guy, me. So yeah, definitely want to thank the big dogs that made all the decisions to let us keep the recovery community connected in the time of COVID-19. We couldn't do this show without you, and it is for you. It's led by people in recovery. So big shout out to you guys. Thanks to the Office of the Drug Director and everybody else. And so we're just going to dive in and talk all things recovery.
Yep. We're glad you guys are here. Hey, hi, Gina. So good to see you. One of the things that Jimmy and I are going to do today, we're going to talk about some topics like, change, returning to use. We're going to talk about helping others when it's a good thing to do and when it's not, and to watch out for pitfalls when you're trying to serve.
Absolutely.
So while Jim and I are building this up and talking, why don't let's put a theory to the test. If it's true that there's probably no problem that exists within this group right now, if someone's hurting right now, throw it out here and let the recovery community talk about it. Let's try and help one another.
Absolutely. But when you guys are doing that, please remember we are a very public show, and sometimes our videos have went viral, and so sometimes not. But either way, please be mindful and careful of what you type in the comments, because they are there forever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, good morning, Karen, Jocelyn. We love to see you in here today. Sherry, thank you so much for being here. Oh, both Sherrys. We got two Sherrys. Van Oster and Van On. Never mind. I feel silly. I thought we had two comments.
Keep coming back, Chris. Keep coming back.
I will. So Jimmy, let's talk about something, helping others. Let's start there. I've got an article that I want to talk about later about some more serious stuff. And we're going to work through that and talk about return to use, relapse, things of that nature. But right now, let's talk about helping others.
Okay.
When did you feel you were ready to get out there and be in the house?
Oh, so I always kind of felt like I had a purpose that was way bigger than addiction, right? And so I'm sure there are a lot of people watching right now who sometime in your life, even when you were using, woke up and felt like you were destined for something way special, way more better than just a life caught in that grip. And so I'd always had a feeling that I was destined to help people or lead people or do something kind of more than the life I was living. It took a while. I had to work on me before I was willing to. But what's crazy to me, Chris, is everybody with 13 days clean and sober wants to open a Kim Free house. Like that is crazy to me. Like you're 1 week out of prison and want to start a facility, and you don't even know if you're going to be able to stay sober. I was that guy.
Yeah, there's some pretty major pitfalls and red flags there. I had, just from my experience, I was well into a decade before I got involved in the things that I do now. And that's just how my story unfolded. Doesn't mean I wasn't helping others, just in a better way, right? And so I know you've heard this term. You can't transmit something you haven't got.
Right. Yeah.
And so if someone is wanting to follow me and I'm still really crispy and haven't overcome a lot of my my struggles, that's obviously something that that someone's attracted to the sickness, right? And
yeah.
So, for instance, today, I try to attract people from a different side of the street.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to do too, Chris, though, but it reminds me, sick loves sick. I remember being in a meeting one time, and this guy, I don't know, he couldn't have had much more recovery time than I had, but he was sharing about how he needed to go put his foot up some guy's butt for something he did. And I remember thinking, I need to get that dude's number, man. We could probably help each other stay clean, like
Yeah.
sick love sick, man.
Yeah. No, I remember being in this meeting, and there was an argument that unfolded in the back of the room, and apparently some guy owed someone $20, and he was confronting him saying, "Where's my money? Where's my money?" And the people in the room were saying, "Hey, this is a sanctuary. We don't need to be fighting like this." And plus,
Yeah.
And they were talking about all this positive stuff that he could do differently. And I'll never forget it. The guy's like, you're not helping my resentment here. I want my 20. And so it's, that's always stayed with me as kind of a comical thing of how, me looking in the mirror, like I make mountains out of molehills. And it's through overcoming my struggles that people are attracted to, really. They don't care about what I used to do, how much I used to use, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
The real thing is finding truth through facing things in reality, walking through our struggles.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to shift directions on you at all, Chris, but you asked for something in the beginning. You asked for somebody to be brave, right? Have the courage to trust the recovery community. And so that's what Jennifer Owens did. Big shout out to Mary Bonner, Christina Peebles. We see you guys. Andrea Singleton, good morning.
And Andrea that's my mom.
What?
Yeah. Hey, really, really quick. There's a couple of things that I want to say. First of all, rest in peace, little Richard. Tutti Frutti. He's no longer with us. We want to make sure we cover that. But you know what's tomorrow, right? Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
So we forgive us for not, first of all, saying that at the beginning. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We love you. We are, you are the lights of this world, right? And so we thank you for doing what you do and mothering the heck out of all of us. So, Mom.
I have to call my mom tomorrow too. So, and my mother-in-law. So yeah, that's beautiful, Chris. Hi, Amanda Baker. I see you, Rachel Williams. So let's talk, Chris. Jennifer Owens has thrown out a problem here, and she just wants some experience, strength, and hope. Guys, keep in mind, we are not providing treatment. That's not what we do. This is recovery, real life.
If you really don't understand having a discussion and trying to help someone through a problem, and you can't differentiate the difference between helping and treatment, then go Google treatment and realize what that is, and then come back in here if you have a concern.
Right.
Throw that out there.
Recovery. Yeah, we're recovery oriented and recovery driven.
This is a talk show. People call talk shows all the time and have problems, and we can, as a group, offer up solutions. And
yes.
So Jennifer, yes. Hey, I was arrested 14 times in 1 year.
Hey, wait, stop. I got proof. Right there it is.
Hey,
this is Chris Dickey.
Murder was the case for being kind. I got arrested for too much kindness. That's hilarious.
So that's the before and after of Chris Dickey. You know, teardrop. He kills somebody with love and kindness.
Yeah. So those are tears of joy.
Yes, that is hilarious, man.
So Jennifer totally went through that. You know, the thing with my experience is I would get a lot of job offers. I would get hired for jobs. And then they'd run the background check and they'd call me literally and say, sorry, we can't hire you. And it was, I think that happened, you know, 4 or 5 times. It was just a gut punch each time. And so one of the things that I did was when I come down here to Arkansas, I got enrolled in college. And so I spent a lot of years in college, and what had happened was over time, I became eligible to go get expunged and things of that nature. And I was able to find some work throughout those few years. But, you know, the worst thing that people told me, the solution that I didn't want to hear and accept, was time. Things take time. Recovery takes time to build up in a way where someone's going to take a chance on me. But in the meantime, don't let that get you down, please. There's a lot of organizations today that are felony-friendly environments. And if someone that's watching can drop a link in to some of the organizations that hire felons, please do that.
And so I can definitely speak to that too, Jennifer. I don't know if you're familiar with my story. If you're not, you may want to go check out my personal recovery page at Jimmy McGill Live on Facebook. You know, I was the first parolee to have a state position in the state of Arkansas, like an actual state government position. Like, in fact, I was just recently released from parole last week. And so I've had my job for 3 years. In the beginning, though, Jen, it sucked. So, like, I couldn't get a job trying to mow the grass. Like, folks was scared I would steal the grass after I cut it. You know, nobody wanted to hire somebody who had an extensive criminal history. And what sucks, Jennifer, is the reality of it is whether you're a changed person or not, 10 years from now, no matter how much good you've done for society, that paper's always going to say that at one time you were this. But it doesn't define us. There are all kinds of people that will hire us. Like, we bring a potential to the table. We're harder workers. We we have a different value on life because we fought our butts off to get the life we have, you know? And so don't give up hope.
Hey, Jimmy, you know, I'm not on paper. It can go away, literally. You need any system and nothing comes up. Now, my stuff was me being out there belligerent in public, you know, and the fun police would always come and say I was being, you know, having too much fun. But yeah, don't give up hope. And one of the silver linings that I found was, you know, I made a beginning as a server in a restaurant. They took a chance on me. And
how'd that go?
Well, I got to grow. I mean, I got to, you know, I got to make a lot of mistakes that if I made in the office environment,
yeah,
I would have been asked to leave. I would have been X'd off, you know, forever. And so I got to make a lot of mistakes and learn from those while I was building my life in recovery and building that foundation. So
right.
Stay connected and put one foot in front of the other. At the very beginning, Jimmy, someone said they were struggling to give up drinking.
Yeah, let me go back and find that. I had that up there. Hey, Gina Aguilar. Let me go find it. Karen Eaton.
Karen, congratulations on getting hired at Walmart and Kroger. That's great. And you're right. You know, the pandemic has opened up a lot of potential opportunities while a lot of destruction.
Yeah, let's see.
while you're looking for that, I like what Sherry says about advocating for yourself. Don't give up and be honest. Keep your chin up. I was told by a mentor of mine, if I market myself as a chicken coop cleaner, guess what kind of jobs I'm going to get? Cleaning chicken coops. So as I continue to grow, I've got to remember that my new lease on life is like a clean slate. I get to go out there and create. My past does not equal my future. And as I continue to put positive behaviors in front of positive behaviors, my life becomes different. It's kind of like someone told me that when I start moving in the right direction, my mind starts moving in the right direction. Then one day I wake up and my life's moving in the right direction. That's kind of how it is.
So I can't find it, Chris, but Karen Eaton has put this up here. Thank you, Karen, for sticking around and fighting. Maybe it may have been Karen who posted it. We see this a lot. Like, people define success and failure based on recovery time and relapse, and that's not the case, is it, Chris?
No, for me, my sobriety, the definition of sobriety to me is a clean urinalysis. I mean, that's it. I'm as physically sober as I am today as I was in 2007. It's what I pack into those 24 hours. And so going back to helping others, I was a taker, Jimmy. I don't know about you and anyone watching. I sucked it. It was all about me. Yeah. And so when I was destructive and chaotic and all of that. And so when I was, building my life in recovery, I started being able to contribute to my family. And then all of a sudden I'm a part of. I don't have to about me.
So it's important. Yeah, Chris, you're right. We go from being that whirlwind, that destructive force, bro, to being a contribution and restored to, everything that we try to tear up. But it's important to know that there are people that will die with 30 or 40 years sober today because of their last relapse, right? Like, all we've got is one day at a time. We've got today. Yeah. If you believe in alcoholism and addiction from a disease concept, which the leading scientific minds in the world today have declared that addiction is a disease, right, Chris? Right?
We don't even have to discuss that. I mean,
right. So, but there are people that get mad and angry about it because they say, no, it's a choice. Well, you don't understand diabetic stuff either, and you're not a doctor, but you don't argue with people that have diabetes about if it's a disease or not, So here's the thing, though. Relapse and returning to drug use is not a prerequisite for recovery. It is a choice. You know what I mean? Like, that part is a choice. Like, I will make a conscious choice to pick up and go use again. There are things that I can do to strengthen my foundation so I don't put myself in the situation to make that choice. Would you agree or disagree with that, Chris?
So I'm gonna comment in a couple of different areas.
Okay.
First of all, it was Jennifer Gately that was talking about drinking. And
yes,
that you are willing to come in here and have the courage to comment on that, Jennifer. If you go to artakeback.org, there's some resources available for you. If you see one of the women in here, message them outside of this, get offline with them, and or message the recovery clinic privately, and we will connect you to resources. But the important thing to note is that you took the first step and you said, hey, I need some help. That takes a lot of courage. And we're grateful that you did that. And now I'm going to answer and use Jennifer's courage as an example. So my desire to be connected was through the roof, but I didn't know how. I didn't know how to connect and engage. And so I didn't realize that I had a mind that wandered back to a drink. It wandered back to a drug, left untreated, right? Mm-hmm. And just up there squirrel caging and letting all those thoughts run random in that chaotic environment. I'm going to go use, because that's what's familiar. And I'm going to have to, at one point, stop the madness. I'm going to have to treat that. And so early on, they told me, if I don't engage and connect and build that web of support, I'm doomed.
That's right.
So while I agree it is a choice to return, sometimes I just never had a chance, because it took me a few times and lots of years to, in my attempts to get long-term sobriety and sustain myself in that sobriety, to really make that transition.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And so to me, that goes back to, you know, what you were just saying, people, places, and things. You know, what did I have to change in order to find and sustain long-term recovery? That answer was really simple for me, Chris. I had to change absolutely everything. So it was only one thing, and that one thing was everything that I knew, you know?
Yeah, I was a feral child, man.
Oh, yeah. Wild. Feral, like a raccoon, a wild raccoon, or
smash the food out your hand.
Yes, bro. So when I often think about my addiction days, that's exactly what I think of. I was reduced to an animal-like state of living, like literally like a raccoon. Like, I pilfered through trash. I only came out at night because I was the vampire, you know. I mean, I was dirty and thought I was the cutest thing in the world.
And then we want to open up a sober house.
And then, 2 weeks clean. I want to open a Kim-free house, and I want to save everybody. And I you know, but tomorrow I got to go take a drug test for my parole officer because I've never stayed clean more than a week. You know, the footing is so important. Like, build your foundation, solidify your relationship with your God, and begin saving you before you can save someone else, you know?
Yeah. Hey, Miss Bonnie, good to see you. Hey, Whitney, change everything. That's it. People play.
Yeah. So real quick, Chris, before we, let me stop this text scrolling on the screen. If you're in Arkansas, big shout out to Mary Bonner. I don't know if she's still on here, but if she isn't, somebody could tag her in the comments. If you follow Mary, Mary works for the the IRN, Information Network of Arkansas. INA, Information Network of Arkansas. They're a tech company, and so what they've done is they have helped the Arkansas Peer Recovery Advisory Committee basically to develop this app, and it's freaking amazing. This app hopefully will be released. I mean, we're testing, Chris, next week to see if we can break this thing, right? Like, because of this overdose spike and the drug use spike that has occurred, Chris was just telling me, all over the country, right? Not just Arkansas.
Yeah, we're going to get into that here in a minute.
And so this app is going to connect people in recovery in real time, like peer specialists. And so you can find all these different resources: sober living houses, treatment centers, counselors, peer specialists, community resources, news and events.
There's more.
And there's more, you know, like when we have Sober Fest and the International Overdose Day, where Chris, I don't want to pop his balloon, but just I'll let him tell you what he's done miraculously to honor everybody who's fallen to addiction. Like, we've got this app is coming, and it's called Arkansas Peer Recovery. It's so freaking amazing.
For that, guys. Be on the lookout for that. So back to what we were talking about. Hey, Mama. Hi, Mary. So in terms of helping others, I remember I went through what I called my Jesus phase, right? I was like, I was, you know, thought I was cool enough, strong enough, mentally tough enough to go into the dope house and, you know, take people out and, you know.
Oh, you were going to save them.
Yeah. I thought I could be in there and still, you know, be immune to everything. And so one of the things that I have to remember as a person in recovery is that I'm not immune to a drink. I'm not immune to a drug. And so,
bro, I'm not going into dope house and getting nobody.
if I am serious about my acceptance and admittance to being powerless over this stuff, I've got to act like it. And so I'm not going in there.
Well, bro, it's a reckless reservation to think I
It's-
can go somewhere where somebody's using safely and come out of that fire.
Yeah, it's not a risk I'm willing to take. I mean,
No.
and so I see a lot of people and also the thing that and if you do this, it's fine. I mean, I just am saying that I don't and I can't and I won't I like live music, so I'm gonna go hang out in the bar. I'm gonna go to the Electric Cowboy. If you are
shoot pool, you go shoot pool in the club.
If you're not from Arkansas, the Electric Cowboy is what, Jimmy? I mean,
it's a trap for me. It's trap.
Exactly what it sounds like. Okay. And so just because I want to have fun and go dancing and I'm sober, that's fine. If you do that, great. I don't do that. It's not a risk I'm willing to take on my life today, because I'll get something. I'll get something on me. I'll take something out of there with me.
Well, it's attractive. We start seeing other people drinking and having fun, and that stuff starts looking good. And with a little bit of recovery time, I get to thinking, well, maybe I'm not powerless over a chemical. Maybe I really wasn't that bad those 6 trips to prison.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I can't have just one. It won't. I'm going to lie to myself. It won't be like it was the last time, because I've got a little bit of control this time. I've been sober for a couple of years.
Illusion. Yeah. That's the lie.
That's that disease. It's
embedded
in me.
Let's talk about that. There's been a time where I had about 2.5 years of sobriety and went back out. And let me tell you, when they talk about the diseases over there doing push-ups, that the addiction is a progressive illness, it gets better. Let me tell you the story about when I had a relapse with the 2.5 years. All right. In 1 week, I lost the place to live. I lost the girl. I lost the job. And I was living back at mama's.
1 week.
1 week. And had people after me.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people needing to talk.
Yeah. You could talk about that money you ain't paid for that bag.
Check this out. The first night that I went out after 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I'm in a house with needles and it's crazy, man. Like the progression is so, and I'm sitting in the back of a cop car first night.
Yeah.
Because we went out to this club and met some people. I didn't know them, but looking for a good time.
Yeah.
Check this out. I'm sitting in the back of this hatchback car with someone that's driving that I don't know. And then the passenger seat is a guy that I know through someone else. And all of a sudden the ride got bumpy because we're off road being chased by the police. Police. After 2.5 years, the first night I'm in a high-speed chase. And so the next thing I know, stops his car, gets out. The last thing I hear before the loudspeakers come out with your hands up, the last thing I hear is, I can't go back to prison. And he jumps out and takes off, leaves us in the car.
Gone. Left you like a sitting duck.
Yeah. And so that's how crazy this stuff is. And so I'm blessed to still be here. And one of the things that I read this morning in a news article, Jimmy, that we were mentioning is, return to use is one thing, but if I've got an opioid use background, that's a totally different animal. Fentanyl doesn't give you a second chance.
No, your return to use may definitely be your last use if your drug of choice is an opiate.
Exactly. So this article is talking about 2 million Americans who are struggling with opioid use disorder, and an average of 130 people die a day to accidental overdose.
Yeah.
It's real, and it's not something that's abstract. It's not something that's happening in another neighborhood over there. It's happening here, right now. We're losing people that we love and we care about.
For sure.
When we're talking about that many people that die a year due to accidental overdose, it's a big number, and so it's easy to kind of detach from that number. but not so with us, right? Not so with us.
Yeah.
Families that are hurting. And so just to talk briefly about this report that we're seeing, because it's super important to anybody who has someone that struggles with an opioid use disorder, to remind them to, if they're seeking help, if they want off the roller coaster, that we do recover. Recovery is possible. Recovery is a roomy, broad environment.
Yeah.
And we want to help. We're seeing a 50% increase in fatal overdoses out of a Franklin County in Ohio. Florida's reporting an increase in accidental overdose. It not to be an alarmist. I'm just trying to focus on the reality of the situation. The pandemic has caused public health services to stop. There's a big interruption. There's a gap in services. And so that we've talked about, Jimmy, on here is that, the dope house is still open. The liquor stores are still open. I can, message the dealer and it will be delivered in the next 15 minutes. Right. And so that's a real danger when I want to stay connected and engaged, but I can't go to the meeting where I used to go. I can't call the public health service that was helping me with any kind of treatment. So
that's right. So
people that don't have a strong foundation, we got to check on them, call them, video, encouragement, because it's too easy to go back with what's familiar, right?
So what that tells me, Chris, is my disease isn't doing push-ups. It's swole. It's already ready. It doesn't have to get ready, because that return to use may be my last use. And for me, I've completely surrendered to the process of recovery. I know that if I use, I will die. I may not die right then on my initial use, but I will return to use and I will stay there and I will die. And so that's sad, that those numbers. And so if you're battling that, you're in the right place to get you some hope, and maybe you'll quit,
Yeah. Well,
that's sad. That whole report was sad.
Rachel, I will, after we end the show, I'll attach that report to the comment section, and you can go back and read it.
Yeah. So I want to,
while saying that the even in Arkansas, the overdose rate has tripled within the past month. But here's the thing, the world is full of opportunities. It's a great time to be alive, everybody. Things are happening that we can that are within our control. We can still find peace, calm. We can still find our gratitude if we look for it, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say something else, man. If you're watching this video and you're changing your phone number every other week because you're going in Verizon and still in a SIMS card, you're in the right spot. You know what I mean? If your idea of having a place to live is hitting a lick and giving your homeboy a shot of dope so you can crash on the couch, you're in the right spot. This is the right show for you to be watching. If you've went in someone's restroom before, Chris, and unlocked their window and came back and broke in their house, you're in the right spot. This is where you learn to change that mindset. And so I felt the need, something tugging at me to say that, because like this is where desperation can meet hope and the change can occur, because Chris and I are bringing real life information to you. These are real stories. We're real people in recovery. We've survived the self-imposed hell that we put ourselves in, and we're coming out of that fire. We want to share it with you guys. We love you. We want to see you grab a hold of what we've got. This door behind me, that's the doorway to recovery.
Hey, put up Stephanie back in there.
I have to go find her. Stephanie Beck?
Yeah, she said 100%. How are you doing, Stephanie?
Hey, Stephanie!
So Stephanie's from Oregon, and I want to welcome her. Thank you so much for being here. Miss you. I hope you're doing well. Stephanie actually saw me at some of my worst moments, and so we're both in the recovery river today, and we're surviving, and so glad that you're here. Christina, yes, we are in this together.
That's right.
I was going to say when Jimmy was talking about if you've done this, if you've done that, I want to add one. If you were just happen to be walking down the street at night and you see a pair of headlights and you jump into the bushes, you're in the right place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because that car is looking for you.
Yeah, that was me, man. I couldn't stay out of the bushes.
But what's crazy, Chris, is it doesn't matter if that car is really looking for you or not, because your perception is your reality. So when you jumped in the bushes, it became your car looking for you.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was the police.
It was. And they was fixing to get you for everything. And I'm going to tell you something else, man. If you're that person that's comparing your addiction or your drug use to somebody else's and you think you don't have a problem because they're using worse, that was me. I was that guy. Like, I didn't have a problem because you smoked in front of the kids. I didn't smoke in front of the kids, which was a lie. I did.
Hey, so
but not as much as you.
I totally relate to that. That my life was the only normal one. Everybody else doesn't know what they're doing. My life's the normal one. So check this out. One morning I woke up, I was probably 19 years old. I woke up to this. And let me say, back in Oregon, the neighborhood that we lived in was right across the street from an elementary school. It was somewhat of a quiet neighborhood and in a nice part of town. And so I woke up to this, loudspeakers saying, "Come out with your hands up." And that was about me, man, because I had been up to some stuff the night before. And so I've got a really bad hangover. One of those ones where your hair hurts. You've got to wiggle your toes at the foot of the bed to see if you are not paralyzed. And so literally, bro, I am army crawling through my hallway to try and get to the window so I can see what's going on. And the whole time I hear...
Wait, when you say army crawl, what does that look like?
Well, I'm like this.
Like Call of Duty, like laying down under the barbed wire.
Okay. Yeah.
Go for
it. I'm doing this through the house to see what's going on in the front yard because I can hear them saying, "Come out with your hands up. We know you're in there," type of thing, right? It's loud. And I peek out and luckily they weren't looking for me, but some guy had been involved in some road rage and was pointing a rifle at people going down the highway. But this is in our neighborhood, and I'm thinking it's about me.
Yeah.
And deep paranoia, right? So, and then I have the gall to like compare my life to others, saying that my life's the normal one.
Yes. Yes. So what about this? Did you ever, never did it occur that it was the drugs and us? We never even considered that the problem was me. Did you ever cop a bag, and every once in a while you could take the sack, and I'm not going to do any of this. I'm not going to touch any of this dope until I sell.
Right. Oh, it's gone.
I'm not going to use any of this bag right here, Chris, until 5 o'clock tonight. And then about 4 o'clock, you're like, well, shit, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, dipping in it, like the rationalizing and the justifying that, if I could wake up just one morning out of 5 and not immediately go use, I would convince myself that I wasn't caught in addiction.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just so progressive, right? Like, it was cool as long as I was just smoking bud and drinking, right? And then I disliked everybody who snorted powder or substances. And the next thing you know, well, I'm dabbling with that, but it's okay because I'm just snorting. I'm not smoking or interject or IVing, right? And before you knew it, I was smoking. So, at least I don't have a problem, Chris, because you're an IV drug user and I'm just a smoker. Right. But then I started using an IV, right? And so now I'm injecting drugs, but I'm not using dirty syringes. So it's still you that has the problem. And then, it's you because I don't pop any kind of pills. Well, the next thing you know, I'm swallowing narcos and eating Valiums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so it just, as long as I had something to compare, and I could always, even when I hit my worst, Christopher, I found somebody worse than me to compare my stuff to.
No, my whole addiction experience and active addiction was me laying in a gutter, looking through the drain down on the world into the sewer.
Yeah.
Mentality was I was always looking down on somebody.
Yeah, I was the sewer. What do you mean? That stench
That's
you
what I'm
smell,
saying.
that was me.
That's
Thinking
what
I
I'm
was
saying.
the flyest thing since an airplane. I was the most cutest guy in the city in my dirty clothes, mismatched sock, uh, teeth ain't been brushed in 72 days.
No, I had my stuff together, Jimmy. I remember one night I was hanging outside of a bar that I couldn't get into with no shoes, trying to bum cigarettes.
But you're a baller.
Yeah, I'm out there hanging out.
Yeah.
I'm a part
Yeah.
of the conversation.
Yes. The
Congratulations to Karen, 1 month clean, everybody. Congratulations. Wait 1 more month, Karen, before you open up a treatment center, please.
Yes, she got that 1 month Karen. 1 month Karen. Hey, that 1 month is awesome too. Because I'm gonna tell you what, if you're free and you can get 30 days without having to go to jail to get it, you bad.
Yeah,
Most folk got to go to jail to get 30 days. You did it on the streets, Karen. Congratulations.
absolutely. Keep going.
What else we got up here? Stephanie Beck. I sure appreciate the work y'all do. Well, we appreciate you and everything you're doing in Oregon. What about Jennifer Owens? Let's see what she says. Along with opening a sober house, I was going to write a book on the nasty side of addiction with 13 days clean. So Chris and I are actually in the middle of writing both of our books. He's jumped in front of me because I'm waiting on Matt. If you don't know Matt Birch, listen, let me tell y'all how to do this.
I had a 2-year head start.
Yeah, but watch this, Chris. Let me show you how to put pressure on Matt. If you know Matt Burks and you're friends with Matt, tag him in the comments right now. Watch this. Let me show you how that you can still be sober and manipulative. And this is not good, folks. Don't try this at home. Listen, if you're waiting on my book, Matt is what you're waiting on. So you guys need to tell Matt it's time to push the pen because he is my editor and he's my restructurer and he's my fluff writer, not a ghost writer. You know the difference between a fluff writer and a ghost writer, Chris?
Well, yeah, you just, I mean, Matt's no longer a ghost. You just said that he's helping you write it. So he can't.
Well, he told me that sometimes my stuff lacked description and emotion.
That's
So
fine.
where I say, man, I hated life and I was stuck in the dope house, Matt is like, in full desperation and hopeless, I was trapped in an environment. You know what I mean? Like he comes in and restructures it. So you guys need to get on to Matt because Matt is slow playing the book. No, I love Matt.
JD didn't waste any time to tag Matt in there. JD, we appreciate you and support all your efforts you're doing. You're wonderful.
Yeah. Shout out to Lynn Hawkins too. Down in the Delta. Down in the Delta, we rolling. That's a new song. We just made it up for recovery in the Delta.
So while we're talking, I want to talk about change. Because our whole lives have been upended over the past few weeks, and due to the pandemic and COVID, the coronavirus, things are still not back to any kind of normalcy in America, and so we're all. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing that everybody on the planet can relate to it. I mean, how often does that happen?
Yeah.
It's like I'm going through something. Yeah, I know. Over in India, they're totally relatable.
Yeah.
And so when we're talking about change, at the beginning you talked about changing one thing, everything.
Everything.
I heard someone say this really, and it made sense to me early on. They said alcoholics and addicts. I'm going to use that because that's what they said. Alcoholics are they don't like two things. One, the way things are, and two, change.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're hard to please, man. We're hard to please.
No. Shout out to.
But go ahead.
I was just going to say before Mike and Casey hopped off, Michael Godfrey, thanks for all the essays as I was in school and you were helping me write them. Thanks. You were exactly right. Matt was not the first person to help me with writing.
No, we look at the back of the book and then take the description and then write the report on that the day before, right? It's due.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Melanie, it's so good to see you. I hope you and Hubs are doing well.
Awesome. What we got? Oh, Chris, let them know about Tuesday's show.
You.
Me? Okay, so guess what? There's going to be some changes in the schedule, guys, for the recovery clinic. This week, I have a Wednesday appointment, so Chris and I will actually be broadcasting on Tuesday at 11. So if you follow us and you're a regular, we definitely want you to know that. We will be going live Tuesday at 11. Also, our Saturday show in the next week or so will begin being Friday night at 6. Is that right?
Yeah, so make plans for that. We're going to obviously tell you, we're going to do a media blast with some messaging so you don't forget.
Yeah.
It's a special edition on Tuesday. We just couldn't make the Wednesday happen. It'll always be on Wednesday. But we're changing the Saturday to a Friday. We're working on a really awesome guest. We haven't confirmed that yet for Tuesday, so you don't want to miss that. And once we confirm it, we'll get that info out to you. She's awesome, and that's all I can say right now.
Yeah. Hopefully that happens, man.
Yeah. Hey, Lana, you're here with us. Hope you are well. Again, you're on here and you hadn't heard what we were talking about in the very beginning. We want to make sure that you know that you can comment in here. While we're a public page and your comments are immortal, please, if you have something that you're going through, let's solve that. Let's get you on the right track. You don't have to do this alone. Whatever you're going through, please put it in the comment section if you feel comfortable doing that, and we'll try and come up with a solution for you. We've got a bunch of people in here, and putting all of our minds and experiences together, I think we can connect to the right resources. I thought I was hoping Brooks would. The question is, did we ever know where he wanted the money donated? In Chelsea, I appreciate the comment. I hope that you can reach out to him and see where he wants that donated in his name, and we'll make that happen. So thank you so much for bringing that up again. Mache, so glad you're with us. How you doing?
I don't see any of these people. Huh. I must have a slow.
They're flying under the radar, man. They're incognito.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any of that. Okay, you must be watching a phone.
We'll do that, Brooks. Thank you so much.
Oh, donated to Next Step. What? Okay. Big shout out, Brooks. Let's see.
Hey, Star. So glad you're here.
Jimmy, my little man heard you singing down in the Delta, and now he is walking around the house singing it. What? I told you I should have been a musician, Chris. Down in the Delta, we rolling. Hey. Okay, now I see Mache. There she is. Hi, Mache Patton. What are we talking about, Chris? Not opening the Kemp Free House up with 1 week clean.
That's probably not a good idea.
Man, that kills me. But you know what? Everybody in early recovery wants to be a counselor and open up a recovery house. Everybody.
Hey, I had like I talked about, I had 4.5 months, and I was going around, carrying the mess. I thought it was the message, but I was really spreading my character defects all over the place.
Right.
Which, it's noble. It's a noble concept to want to help people, right?
Right.
I think going from who I was as a taker and sucking the air out of every room, and really today, the majority of my life, Jimmy, is through service and giving. That's a miracle to say. That's amazing for me to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's the truth, and it's a transition of what recovery has given me as a gift. That I've understood that there is no better way to live than something through giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's exactly right. Right. Like, so to me, the service, being of service, like addiction is such a self-centered disease, right? Like it's always about me, 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 and me. So anytime I'm of service to help someone else, it takes me all the way out of the element of self-obsession, right? It's as selfless as I can get when I help somebody for the right reason. And so to me, that goes completely against the nature of addiction. And so that's one of the safest insurance policies that I can have to maintain sustainable recovery, is to be of service to people. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in the rooms of whatever fellowship you go to. If you go to AA or Celebrate Recovery or whatever you go to, you can be in service in your personal pathway. Your recovery may look like CrossFit and yoga and Bible study. You can figure out a way to be of service to the community, not just in your fellowship.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that, because I don't want anyone to pump the brakes on being of service.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can be of service without opening up a 500,000 square foot treatment center, right? Or I can be of service without speaking in front of 100,000 people in a stadium, right?
Yeah.
With 24 hours can help someone with 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've got 12 hours of how to survive the next few moments. And so it's a noble concept to want to help. We're just saying that there's a time to do it and a time to maybe rethink.
Yeah.
I had to get to a point where I had to learn how to run my ideas through others.
Yeah, I still do.
Me too.
I still do. Especially when it's people who have more experience, and I like it. The majority of stuff I have to, and I hate to say this because I know my wife is watching, but the majority of stuff that I have to lean on other men for ideas and experience on is being a good husband and being a good leader in my house and a good dad, Chris, right? Like I don't want to be that guy. Okay, so I'm just going to share my honest opinion. Don't care who it makes mad. Like if you cheat on your spouse or your girlfriend or whatever, like let's be real. You're not a husband at all. You're a liar that said I do. And I don't want to be that. Okay. I don't want to be the father who doesn't take care of his kids and his kid only remembers him as being the authoritative figure. I need to learn how to be a good balance, to lead my child, nurture my child, and watch him grow, right? And so I do that by leaning on people like you and Kirk and Matt Burks and other men who have successfully been good parents. That's where I need other people's help.
Right. Katie is in Virginia, and she's needing some help with finding some resources. She's saying that she's homeless, and so our hearts go out to you. Thankful for Teresa for stepping into a side conversation and helping Katie and her family find some resources. We'll do our best to connect you to some resources over in Virginia that you may not be aware of. I know that you've tried and it's exhausting trying to find something. We'll help you. So especially like if I'm trying to give you financial advice and I'm going bankrupt, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And that's who I was before, you know. I would much rather focus on you than me. And so, you know,
it's easy to give good advice when you don't know how to take it yourself, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it completely.
Hey, Deepa, thank you so much for your kind words. Hey, Hunter Hatcher's in here.
Okay, I'm working my way down through there. Chelsea says she runs everything through others. I can testify that that's the truth. We will have a bickering match, Chris, and I will hear her telling her recovery women everything about everything. Stop talking about our business. No, I'm just teasing. That's where we get different
Hey,
perceptions.
so the title of your book should be called Open Book.
Hey, that's good.
An open book.
That's good. Samantha Brown said I'm a preacher.
That's one way to look at it.
Hey, look what Hunter said. My wife has got to be cheating on me with the Amazon guy. He's at our house like 3 times a week. Bro, preach.
Hey, whoever that Amazon guy is, he's at our house too.
Bro, mine too. We need to find him and lynch him.
I'm hiring a private investigator.
Listen, COVID-19 has got the Amazon guy sliding in everybody's doorway.
Dropping off gifts for my wife.
Hey, that's hilarious. Let's see. Deidre Gray. Hi, guys. Super inspired by both of you. Speaking of kids, any thoughts on support for adolescents seeking recovery?
Where are you located, Deidre? Tell us where you're located, and we can talk about that. Each community is a little different as far as what's offered and what's not.
So immediately, Deidre, I think about Bonnie Stribling. She's the peer recovery supervisor at a couple of places, but she is over DYS, which specializes in youth services. And so she does a lot of placement with kids. If you want to inbox us here, we will connect you with her, and Chris can get you some other resources as well. Oh, she's in Little Rock, so that's great.
Great. Yeah. So if you look up AA Central Office, there's some great resources. There's some young persons groups if you want to try the 12-step route. If you Google Celebrate Recovery in Central Arkansas, there's some great resources there. And those are just a couple of ideas to get you started. But I'll tell you something about Little Rock, Arkansas, is that it's got a wonderful recovery community. Wonderful. Yeah. Engaged. I've heard people meeting outside in parks to manage the social distancing guidelines, and they're meeting out in the open, 6-foot difference, and still carrying the message to others. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. While it's easy to watch the news and get on social media and freak ourselves out, the world's ending. I can do it already this morning, and so I'm grateful to come in here and be with you, because it reminds me that the world is full of opportunities. Absolutely. The world is a wonderful place. It's a great time to be alive. Are there struggles? Absolutely. Are there tragedies? Absolutely. But what makes life worth it is going through it together, facing them head on, and coming out on the other side a different person, a stronger person. And so we're coming down to the end of the show. Jimmy and I are so thrilled that you are here with us today, engaging. If I'm reflecting on the whole show, we've had people come in here, have the courage to say, I need help. Here's what's going on. Here's my situation. And I'm going to get emotional just talking about it. But our viewers are some wonderful people. I've seen them helping. They've been reaching out and connecting people to hope, connecting people to resources and things to bring comfort and peace into these uncertain times for people. Yeah. Again, before I ask Jimmy to leave us with the closing thought, I want to say happy Mother's Day, happy early Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And if you have a child who is either lost their life to an overdose or who is in active addiction or in recovery for that matter, we want to just send a blanket of love, warmth, peace. We just want to send as many positive vibes your way as we can. And to all the other mamas out there rocking it, thank you so much for what you do. This Mother's Day is a special one. And so we want to honor all of you out there. Jimmy, close us out, man. What do you want to say? What do you want to leave us with?
So definitely want to, if you guys are struggling with mental health issues or you need substance abuse treatment, that number scrolling across the bottom of the screen is, if you're in Arkansas, call that number. It is the DHS Mental Health and Substance Abuse Treatment Center call line. And so if you call that number, there will be somebody at the state that will help you get connected to mental health services or substance use services. Again, the show this week will broadcast on Tuesday at 11. We love you guys. If you haven't liked our page and followed it, please go do so now. Hit that heart button one more time, and then share the video for us. And we will see you guys Tuesday. Bye-bye.
We'll see you soon. Love you all.